From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting Imperial Valley football on VSNSports.net, the Valley Sports Network, and the source for Imperial Valley sports. For John Moreno, this is Vic Carrillo at beautiful Willis Ward Stadium as the Calexico Bulldogs hosting a long traditional rival, the Central Spartans, as they historically kick off the Imperial Valley League season by playing their season opener against one another. The Central Spartans, 4 times defending champions of the Imperial Valley League, the winner of 4 consecutive ball games, come into tonight's ball game having graduated 28 seniors from an undefeated season in the spring-shortened pandemic of COVID-19. The Bulldogs come in off a 1-4 spring season, but they're 3-2 tonight, and they're going against the 1-4 Central Spartans. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the voice of choice, the real deal, the Master Blaster, your friend and mine, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, thanks a lot, Vic, for that introduction. We're here. This is league. This is what it's all about. This is the start of the real season, as you will, as the preseason was just a warm-up. Now, Calexico's coming in tonight, like you said, with a 3-2 record, something that hasn't happened in a while, but they're up for this game. They've lost one player in Julian De Leon, but everybody seems to be healthy tonight, Vic.
Well, Julian De Leon is an all-purpose running back, John, as well as playing middle linebacker, and he's kind of do it all for the Calexico Bulldogs, but he's out with a shoulder injury, and on the central side of the ball, they're short minus Zarian Robinson, the son of that great running back for Al Central back in the Cal Jones era in the 80s, Gerald Robinson. And he, last year, as a freshman on his first carry last spring, he blistered the Bulldog defense with an electrifying 63-yard touchdown scamper. And after that, it looked promising for him. But he suffered an ankle injury, and he's definitely out tonight.
Well, let's talk about last night's game. I want to get everybody updated on what happened last night. It was the Imperial Valley Classic, which was played by the Imperial Tigers, who traveled east to take on the undefeated, well, they were undefeated as of last night, Hopeville Vikings, and the Tigers came out on top with a 14-8 win. And C.J. Tiernan was selected as a VSN Burgers and Beer Player of the Game for his versatile performance. The Tigers are ranked 9th in Division 3, and Hopeville is 4 in Division 5. Both teams played an excellent game, and the Tigers will be a stalwart in the IVL and the Vikings in the Desert League. Tonight also, the Scots of Vincent Memorial 3-2 are ranked 14 in Division 4 and will host Mountain Empire Redhawks for their first league contest tomorrow. The Redhawks are ranked 7 in Division 5, and they're coming with a record of 2-3. And that game will be played at Southwest High School with a kickoff at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And the Calipatria Hornets are 2-2, and they're hosting the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets are 3-2, and they're on the top of Division 5 with a ranking of 2 under Mission Bay. A notable win for Palo Verde came in from a Division 2 school, the Morse Tigers out of the City League. Palo Verde has played some tough teams and had some close games, 4 of them for that matter. This may not be one of them, as the Hornets are also in Division 5, but they're ranked 14th. The Hornets did beat Claremont 21-12, but so did everyone else. Let's talk about the Brawley Wildcats, 4-2. They host the Southwest Eagles tonight in one of the Valley's newest rivalries. The Wildcats are ranked 7 in Division 3, and they're coming off an exciting overtime win, 20-14, over the Fallbrook Warriors, the Division 5 leader. And the Wildcats are coming off several wins after losing a couple of games early in the preseason. Southwest is ranked 13 in Division 4 and has proven that they are quite capable of the Wildcats and give them the run for money. The Eagles are coming off a big loss to Santa Fe Christian, one of the toughest teams in the San Diego section. As it has been in the past, the road to the championship runs through Brawley, and make no mistake, Brawley will come out on all cylinders. But tonight, the defending IVL champions, the Central Spartans of Division 2, travel to Calexico to take on the Bulldogs of Division 5, and this rivalry goes back to 1915. Spartans are coming in, as we said, with a 1-4, with a recent loss to the Christian Patriots by a score of 44-28. Don't let the record fool you, Vic, because the Spartans have had a very tough preseason. Central isn't ranked high in their division, but they have proven time and again that when it comes to league play, they step it up. And Calexico's coming off a loss to the Hopeville Vikings 2 weeks ago, 29-28 in a nail-biter. The Bulldogs are ranked 6th in their division, and they've shown that they can score points, and they must do that tonight against the vaunted Spartans, who hold and look to the IVL title. And you can catch this game tonight, and you already are, on VSN.
Well, John, that was a mouthful, but very eloquently said, and your articulation was superb. But speaking of the Central Spartans, they've had a line of outstanding quarterbacks from Danilo Osuna to Jordan Reed, an Imperial High School transfer, and now they have Damian Rodriguez, who's the top-rated passer in the Imperial Valley. He comes in with 898 passing yards, and so if David Rookie Peña can keep this going with the development of his young quarterbacks, the Calexico defensive secondary is going to have their hands full. But Calexico counters with 2 outstanding quarterbacks in David Esquer and Abram Sassueta. Both good passers, Sassueta the stronger runner. But Calexico has to establish ball control tonight, John, to keep the ball out of the hands of the vaunted and high-octane Central Spartan offense.
Well, we saw David Esquer a couple of weeks ago, when they played Hopeville. He is throwing some accurate passes, and I think that was the difference between him and Abram Sassueta. But then you had them switching in and out, which you couldn't muster a routine or a rhythm, if you will. So hopefully one of those guys gets to play more so and consistently to see what they can develop and bring forth.
Well, John, if you want to look for a silver lining in the COVID-19 pandemic last year that impacted everybody and how we live and work, the fall season was postponed, pushed back to the spring. It was reduced to a 5-game schedule, and for Calexico, their senior returning class opted not to play. They opted to play basketball or baseball or some other sport or not play anything at all, whether it was out of frustration or disappointment. But what this did is it allowed Calexico's freshmen and sophomores who didn't have a freshman or JV program to pick up some experience were able to play, and they went right into league against Central, Brawley, Imperial, and John, it was a tough competition, but it carried over into the summer, and it's evidenced here as they come in with a 3-2 record, particularly with their first victory of the season against Castle Park, where they surprised everybody and they stunned the Castle Park Trojans 60-6.
And that was quite a game. That was the first home game, then it was the first VSN game did for Calexico as we get ready for the national anthem.
The great high school marching band will be playing from the bleachers instead of taking the field. From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez.
Out of the gun, looking over the middle, way deep. Pass is caught by number 21. Touchdown.
Right, he gives to 6 at 10. He's at the 4. Just cuts back, he's at the 4.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to VSN, Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley Sports, put on by Bulldog Media 2021. As we get set for tonight's ball game, the Bulldogs won the toss, but they deferred as they get set for the Lorenzo Rodriguez kickoff. Lorenzo going at 6'2", 330 pounds. You expect him to boot the ball beyond the end zone, but don't be surprised if we see a pooch kick to start off the action.
And that's a pooch kick picked up at the 25 by number 5. And that is Damian Nelson. Damian is still on his feet down to the 40, 45, and goes out of bounds right about the 50-yard line. Make it the 48.
So offensively, the Spartans will come out with number 7, Damian Rodriguez, 6'1", 165-pound junior, the leading passer in the Imperial Valley thus far during the months of August and September as we kick off the fall campaign October 1st, John. A beautiful night for football here at an equally beautiful stadium, Willis Ward Field. And thank you, Chris De La Rosa and crew, for such an outstanding display of artistry in putting this field together.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 48-yard line. Under center. A quick pass to, looks like Gavin Marini.
That was number 14, Gavin Marini, catching that first pass as Coach David Pena wants to come and let the air out of the football as he wants to put it up as often as he can. And the Spartans right away advancing the ball across midfield to the Bulldog 48-yard line.
A pickup of 4. So Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun, trips to the left side. Man in motion coming this way. Yo-yo motion. 14, Marini. Handoff right up the Charlie Sullivan, right?
Charlie Sullivan, number 2, who's one of the top rushers in the Imperial Valley as well, as he will carry the brunt of the workload for the Central Spartan running game as standout running back Zarian Robinson, a sophomore, out with a leg injury, and we won't see him tonight. But next man up, according to David Pena, as he likes to play one game at a time. Every week, John, they like to start out thinking 1-0.
3rd and 6. Bulldogs showing blitz. Damian Rodriguez out of the gun. He's got double-doubles with one lone setback. Looking left side. Pass is caught. And that was number 2, Charlie Sullivan, coming from the backfield on a swing pass. But the Bulldogs there didn't allow him to get the first down. He'll pick up 3.
Well, brought down immediately by Troy Marin, an outstanding two-way player on offense and defense. Bulldog defensively go with Francisco Arriola, Gabriel Verdugo, and Andres Castro up front. We'll give you the linebackers and defensive backs after this play.
4th and 1.
Sullivan and a Wildcat running up the middle behind the blocking of Jace Ramirez and Eli Osuna to pick up a first down as the Central Spartans off to a good start here with 9:55 remaining in the first quarter. No score in the ball game if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen. And now we welcome back the voice of choice, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
1st and 10 for Central. They've had a good first series of play here in the first quarter. They're coming out of a spread with one lone setback. Damian Rodriguez, double-doubles. Motion man coming this way. Rodriguez, a swing pass, incomplete, intended for Gavin Marini. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. He'll spot the ball at the 46.
John, are we able to see the game, or are we out? We lost the camera. Okay. Can they hear us, though? Can they hear us? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties as quarterback Charlie Sullivan subs in as a do-everything back in a Wildcat formation, John. Tried to surprise the Bulldogs on a pass play there, but the Bulldog defense alertly led by Troy Marin and Abraham Sasueta in to make the stop, drop for a loss. So make it 3rd and long. It looks like about a 3rd and 20, maybe 3rd and 17.
3rd and 17 for the Spartans at the Calexico 48 with Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Left side pass, caught. And that is number 8 going everywhere. That's Elijah Perez. Will get pretty close to the first down marker. He'll take it up inside the 30 at the 28.
Well, the Bulldogs have to be careful not to key on Charlie Sullivan, who carries everything with the for the Central Spartans, particularly with Zarian Robinson out with a leg injury. But there's no loss for talent in the deep Spartan team.
Charlie Sullivan out of the Wildcat, going left side, gets the first down and more. He'll take it in to about the 20-yard line of Calexico in the red zone.
You know, excellent athletic genes in the Sullivan family. His older brother was a standout for the Spartans, Mike Sullivan, also a great receiver and defender, and he's parlayed that talent to getting a scholarship to Southern Colorado, where he's continuing his football exploits.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Double doubles. Bulldogs showing blitz. Damian Rodriguez dropping back. Looking over the middle, shooting it, intended way down there for number, can't see his number, Vic. We're way up here in the sky here at Calexico High School.
Well, just look at the monitor there. You can see the numbers right there. It's right next to you. There you go, John. Imagine you're at Burgers and Beer collecting on one of those player of the game.
It's number 8, Elijah Perez.
Cheeseburgers. Loaded with bacon and onions.
Oh, there we go. Now you're getting me hungry. So a 2nd and 10.
That's why they call you Mis Johnnies.
Handoff, fake it, shoots it. Number 14, Gavin Marini, running a crossing route, gets a first down. Move those chains for the Central Spartans, and very close to the 5-yard line.
You know, John, Gavin Marini comes in as the leading receiver for the Central Spartans with 18 receptions in 5 games for a grand total of 401 yards and 3 touchdowns to his credit, as he's the favorite target of quarterback Damian Rodriguez. Number 7, only a junior.
Damian Rodriguez trips right. 1st and goal at the 6. Looking over the middle, pass is caught, touchdown Central, and that did look like Gavin Marini in the end zone.
So with 7:14 remaining in the first quarter, the Central Spartans in their 2021 kickoff of Imperial Valley League play strike first and draw blood here as we get set for the point after attempt by number 25, Miles Rodriguez.
Miles Rodriguez will attempt it now, and it is good. So early in the first quarter, 7:14 to go. Central 7, Calexico 0.
Tonight's ballgame being brought to you by
Burgers and Beer. For the best burgers in town, try Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers and Beer is a place to watch the big game. Great food and great service. That's Burgers and Beer. And by Ivy Welding and Mechanical. Tonight's game is brought to you by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor. For all your heavy metal needs, Ivy Welding incorporates welding techniques to build high-quality systems. Call Fred Baeza at 760-482-WELD. That's Ivy Welding and Mechanical in El Centro. And by Marianne Valenzuela Fenley, your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley, specializing in auto, home, business, property, and more. And with over 20 years' experience, Marianne will help figure out what coverage you need to control your financial future. Miles Rodriguez now kicking off for the Spartans. Here we go, Calexico. A pooch kick toward the left side, and it'll go out of bounds.
Well, you know, it's a free kick, John, and they don't realize that they have to, once it passes 10 yards, that they have to collect it, drop on it, whatever. You know, the lack of a Pop Warner program in Calexico and other places, other cities in the Imperial Valley, the lack of a freshman or JV program, a lot of these kids come in inexperienced. But that's why it's important to have quality coaching, which both sides of the ball have in David Peña and Jesus Fernando Solano for Calexico. Solano also has a great coaching staff with Steve Boo Torres, Jonathan Guzman, just to name a few.
David Romero, Bardo Gutierrez, Ziggy Herrera, Heriberto Peralta.
All right, John, they've been to Rocco's.
Who hasn't? So the Bulldogs will get the ball at the 35-yard line. with David Esquer under center. Double doubles.
You know, Coach Peña for Central, having 5 seasons there, came in to tonight's game with an accumulative 38-5 record into this year's season. He's picked up 1 victory against 4 defeats, but more importantly, that would satisfy Cuñado Gus Carupas. They've won 4 consecutive Bell games against Brawley. It doesn't matter where you finish in league as long as you beat Brawley. But Bell has been home and firmly entrenched at Central for the last 4 years. It'll be a tug of war, John, to have Brawley try to take it away.
Well, this year will be kind of like the other years, with that game being the highlight of the Imperial Valley League.
Well, it's the last game of the league schedule, and speaking of last games, ours will be the Battle of the Border with Vincent Memorial, our new crosstown rival.
That'll be October 29th.
And one of the reasons Vincent's playing at Southwest tomorrow night instead of tonight, and the Holtville Imperial game was played Thursday night, is the lack of officiating crews. You only have 3 crews representing the Imperial Valley Football Officials Association. They're outstanding, but they're short in numbers, John. But hats off to them and kudos for the outstanding work that they do.
Exactly. And tonight we've got an officiating crew led by J.J. Jackson.
He's assisted by Mike Garcia, the back judge, Benny Carter, the umpire, the head linesman is Randy Ross, and the line judge is Gabe Castro. We were hoping to see Sal Boxer Carrillo tonight, but hopefully he's tuning in.
So they're fixing the chain box down there at the sideline, and it looks like they've got it covered now.
So, John, let's talk about the condition of Willis Ward Field and the work of excellence by Chris De La Rosa from the Calexico Unified School District and his crew.
It looks manicured like a collegiate-level football field. You've got the paint, you've got the maroon, you've got everything looking just right. It's clean. The stands it's just beautiful. And we've got the new sign out there, the southeast corner of the field that says Calexico High School. They really did an outstanding job tonight to get this field ready for league.
So the new bleachers on the home side, the new stands, seat about 2,500 to 3,000, and the visitors side, where the Central Spartans are, seats 15? So we have about a 4,000 seat capacity here.
Easy.
If you want to sit in the stands. Otherwise, you can sit around the perimeter of the football field.
Esquer on a 1st and 10 going deep to the right side, incomplete. He was pass intended for number 19, Andrew Rivera. It goes incomplete. So the Bulldogs started off just throwing that football on that first play.
Well, Calexico offensively starts with David Esquer, number 1 at quarterback. The running backs are Ernesto Sanchez and Andres Castro, wearing number 26. The wideouts are Pedro Cruz, Andres Ramirez, and Andrew Rivera. Left to right offensively, we'll give that to you, starting with Mario Arredondo after this play.
2nd and 10, handoff. And getting pushed back is Ernest Sanchez.
Well, Sanchez came into tonight's game with 302 yards rushing. He left the Holtville game where they lost 29-28 with a sprained ankle that he had re-injured. He re-injured it in Holtville, but he initially injured it against Calapat, thus limiting his effectiveness in the 4th quarter as the Bulldogs rallied with 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes to bring them within 1 against the Vikings.
3rd and 10, Esquer sacked. Too much pressure in the pocket, and he goes down. The Bulldogs are faced with a 4th and long.
Well, John, a difference from last season was the recognized improvement of the offensive line of the Calexico Bulldogs, where they were giving their quarterbacks time to throw. They were opening up running lanes for the running game. As we get set for the punt return, you'll have
number 8, Elijah Perez. And kicking off for punting for the Bulldogs is Pedro Cruz.
So Pedro Cruz punting to Elijah Perez, standing at his own 38-yard line inside the 40.
And he'll take the snap. And an end-over-end kick takes a Bulldog bounce, and it is touched by Elijah Perez, and Calexico may have recovered. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
A great break for the Calexico Bulldogs as that punt was mishandled by Perez as the Bulldog punt coverage team was closing in. I don't know if that had an impact on him, making him a little nervous or gun-shy, but nevertheless, the Bulldogs come up with a timely recovery with 5:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Central 7, Bulldogs 0.
At the Brawley Southwest game, Brawley 14, Southwest 0 in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Central 32. Esquer gonna hand it off to Andrew Rivera. Goes to the right side and he'll take it to about the 31. He'll pick up 1.
Tackled immediately by defensive back number 2, Charlie Sullivan, as the Spartans go with Israel Rascon, Malachi Okan, Nicolas Jimenez, and Dominic Lerma in the front 4. The linebackers are Rodolfo Lizaola and Angel Ortiz. The defensive backs, Josuel Rodriguez, Joel Gonzalez Valdez, Skylar Cook, and look out for him, ladies and gentlemen, at number 10, as he's a ball hawk there as the center fielder, a strong safety in the Spartan defense.
2nd and 9 from the 31. Esquer handing off to Sanchez. Sanchez goes right side and zigzags, crosses the 25, into the 25 to about the 24. He'll pick up 8 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and short.
The Bulldogs with their angle blocking as everybody blocked down, and the center picked up the middle linebacker, Angel Ortiz, and that bodes well for a cutback runner like Ernie Sanchez, and he showed it there, John, as he was able to pick up almost first down yardage, just shy as the ball crosses the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs, and they need to get to the 23 for a first down.
In there at quarterback now is Abraham Sasueta.
Outstanding runner, look for the Wildcat type of formation.
And he'll fake the dive to Prades, and he'll keep it, gets the first down, take it to the 20-19, so 1st and 10 for Calexico. Move those chains.
Running behind a 6'2", 280-pound left tackle, Mario Arredondo, along with Nisael Gastelum, 5'10 and 210, and the center is anchoring the line. That's Christian Martinez, one of tonight's captains, along with Abraham Sasueta and David Esquer. So the Bulldogs on the move with 3:37 remaining there in the green zone, John, at the 20, well, now they're in the red zone.
Esquer with a handoff to Sanchez. Nothing there.
And then to make the stop for the Spartans, that was number 22, Jared Martin, only a freshman, but he stands at 6'2", 190 pounds. And if you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, yes, he's the grandson of the great Al Lefty Martin. And the son of Brian Martin, we might add.
2nd and 10. Sasueta in there out of the shotgun. He'll decide to run the option and pitch it to Prades, but Prades couldn't turn the corner and get yardage. They bring him down right at the line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 10.
And that was number 8, Elijah Perez, making the tackle there as he wasn't fooled on that quarterback option. So as a result, John, Calexico now faced with a 3rd and a long 10. The ball right at the far hash mark inside the 20 at the 19. An obvious passing situation. Let's see what the Bulldogs do with Sasueta.
Sasueta will take the snap, and he'll stutter step, but cannot get anywhere. It'll bring up a 4th and about 9 or 8.
Well, the Calexico Bulldogs need to respond to that early score of the Central Spartans. They don't want this game to get out of hand early out of the gate, as we have 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Calexico down by a score of 7-0 as the Central Spartans took the opening kickoff and drove the length of the field for their first points of the ball game on a 14-yard touchdown pass from Damian Rodriguez to Gavin Marini. And for those in the early 60s, yes, that Marini name was prominent in the Hopeville athletic system.
Esquer, screen. Pass is caught there by number 3, Andres Ramirez. He'll get pretty close to the first down marker, but I don't think he'll get it.
So the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs, John, as they come up short inside the red zone as they were trying to get something going with that screen pass, but maybe one pass too late and not enough yardage there as a result.
So turning the ball over on downs, the Central Spartans way back at their own 11-yard line will need to move the ball up here in the first quarter with 1:26 to go.
The Spartans come in with 4 offensive leaders in Imperial Valley statistics. At quarterback, Rodriguez. At rushing is Charlie Sullivan with 522 yards. Sullivan with a carry.
Doesn't get anything.
Brought down immediately by number 12 of Calexico, and that's Benjamin Rodriguez, a 5'11", 170-pound junior. Also filling out the offensive skill set in receiving yards, you have Gavin Marini, who caught that touchdown pass in the first drive of the game. He comes in with 401 total yards and 18 catches. And Sergio Garcia, only a freshman, John. He's wearing jersey number 3. Keep an eye on him as he's flanked out to the near sideline.
2nd and 9. Marini in motion. Damien Rodriguez out of the gun, looking left side, shooting it out. And Pedro Cruz was right there.
Intended for Skylar Cook, number 10, who's come over from the defensive side to play a little offense, and closely guarded by Pedro Cruz, and the pass falls incomplete.
And he was tripped up there.
Well, not tripped up, John. They both had equal opportunity to go for the football. Their feet may have been tangled, but you can say the same for Pedro Cruz. He had just as much a right for that football via an interception.
3rd and 9, Damien Rodriguez and the Spartans had to throw it off quickly. Pass is caught there. Arturo Estrada, and he'll take it up, get a first down, take it to about the 21.
Arturo Estrada wearing jersey number 9, 5'9", 155-pound sophomore. A young Spartan team, John. They're going to be good in the next 2 years to come. Likewise, Calexico also has a sophomore and junior-laden squad.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans late in the first quarter, 21 seconds and counting. Damien Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Handed off to Sullivan. Sullivan is met right at the line of scrimmage. Pick up 2.
Well, the Spartans trying to control the trenches, John, and develop dominance on the line of scrimmage with behind number 68, Nicholas Jimenez, Eli Osuna, Jace Ramirez at center, Anthony Ramirez, and Brennan Haven. So after 1 quarter of play, Spartans 7, Bulldogs 0.
The Robinson Ford family is proud to support breast cancer awareness. We pray for the many people in our Imperial Valley who have suffered from this grave illness. Stomp out breast cancer in the month of October. And Robinson Ford Sales reminds you to do the chip shortage. New car inventory is increasing slower than usual. Have you earned your varsity letter? Well, get your Letterman jacket started today at LettermanandBros.com. Letterman & Bros at 760-693-5034. Ask for Dan. And by Esqued Realty. Need real estate services? Thinking of buying or selling a house? Wondering what your property is worth? Get top dollar on your investment. Call Mark Esqued, real estate broker offering professional, friendly service for over 27 years. Call for a free market quote at 357-9707. Esqued Realty, the mark of excellence. And you want to stay up to date with the latest Imperial Valley sports coverage? Follow us on Twitter at VValleySportsNet and make sure to have post notifications turned on. So we're switching sides.
So the Bulldogs will be defending the northern goal as the Spartans will be going right to left on your visual screen here as you're watching it on VSN.net.
Damien Rodriguez out of the gun, double doubles. Charlie Sullivan in the backfield. 2nd and 8. Going over the middle. And it looks like it was intended for number 10.
That's Skylar Cook as David Pena, the head coach for the Central Spartans, likes to call what they have as an offense as a concept offense. They'll send 4 or 5 receivers out. 2 will go deep on both sides of the field. Then you have your intermediate receivers running crossing patterns down the middle, And then you have your safety valve that runs just 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback, Rodriguez, will check down. He'll look deep first, like on that pass play, and if it's not open, then he'll go to intermediate or the short safety valve.
3rd and 8 with trips right. Rodriguez rolling out. Looking deep. A man is open, and it's caught by number 3. That is Sergio Garcia. Touchdown, Central.
Sergio Garcia, only a freshman, John, and came into the game with 15 receptions thus far in the season for 330 total yards, but more importantly, 3 touchdowns, and he added to a 4th on that reception. That play covering 78 yards on the play.
And he and our Calexico Bulldogs got beat deep on that one.
Well, Calexico in a cover 2 defense, and they were just 1 foot shy of making that block or interception, but nevertheless, you have Miles Rodriguez set for the point after attempt. A low line drive kick.
It is still good. So in the second quarter, Central scores a touchdown. We are now at 14-0.
Tonight's ball game being brought to you by
The Town Pump Steakhouse will be opening up October 5th. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Call 760-344-3663 for reservations. Located at 200 West Main Street in Westmoreland, the Town Pump serves up a delicious and savory steak and lobster dinner. Come by and experience a Valley tradition for over 50 years. Subscribe to our VSN YouTube channel and follow VSN on Instagram. Need a job? Need to hire someone who needs a job? Give Keystone HR a call at 357-2929 for all your staffing needs. Keystone HR in Calexico is a proud sponsor of Imperial Valley football. Miles Rodriguez with the kickoff. And it'll go end over end here to the near side. Andres Ramirez, I believe, will pick it up and take it out into the 30-yard line. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 31.
And that was number 58 for the Central Spartans, along with number 54 making that tackle, Malachi Okan, 54, and 58, Julian Cortez, a junior, 6'1", 170-pounder. And Malachi, only a sophomore, going on 180 pounds. So the Central Spartan defense will come out to put pressure on the Calexico offense that finds themselves down by a score of 14-0 with 11:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Opening night of Imperial Valley League play.
David Esquet hands it off to Andrew Rivera. He'll turn the corner, try to, on the left side, and gets a couple.
A lot of lateral speed there in the Spartan defensive secondary with number 12, Josuel Rodriguez, 23, Joel Gonzalez, and don't forget that strong safety, Skylar Cook, all Valley the last 2 years, and Charlie Sullivan, along with linebacker Michael Fisher. The other linebackers are Rodolfo Lizaola and Angel Ortiz. So an outstanding defense put on display here for the Central Spartans.
2nd and 7 from the 35. A swing pass to number 21, Ernest Sanchez, goes incomplete.
And that was broken up by number 52, Julian Ramirez, a senior, 5'11", 173 pounds, and he made all that height to his advantage as he got his arms outstretched on and was able to come up with that deflection. So the Bulldogs faced with a 3rd and 7, the ball at their own 35-yard line, the far hash mark as number 1 for Calexico, David Esquer.
10:56 in the second quarter.
Esquer, only 5'6", a junior.
Andres Ramirez split to the near side. Esquer out of the shotgun. Prades in motion. Esquer going deep. Andres Ramirez is there, and it's almost intercepted by number 23 for the Spartans. That's Joel Gonzalez.
Joel Gonzalez, 5'7", 175-pound defensive back, was there on Ramirez, as you would say, John, like a cheap suit.
All over him.
How about flies on honey?
I was going to say something else, but yeah. So a 4th and long for the Bulldogs, going to have to punt. standing around his 36-yard line.
Is that number 6 for the Spartans or number 8, Elijah Perez?
Can't see the number from this vantage point.
Or is it 14, Gavin Marini?
It's not 14.
Or is it 74, John Moreno from the class of 78?
Looks like the punt was deflected, and it's caught there by number 7 for the Bulldogs, David Rivera. So he'll down it right there about midfield, it looks like.
Well, excellent field position for the Central Spartans as they take over for their third offensive series of the ball game. They've been successful on their first 2 drives as they've put on 14 points on the scoreboard.
We have an update at the Brawley Southwest game in the second quarter. Brawley 21, Southwest 0, and Palo Verde and Calapat in the second quarter. Palo Verde 14, Calapat 0. And in this game, it's 14-0, Central over Calexico.
Well, John, in your opening commentary when the game started, you talked about this long historical rivalry that dates back to 1915. Elaborate.
Well, 1915 was when Calexico School was established. 1912, but 1915 was they had their first football team. And the only other schools in the valley that were playing football were Imperial, Hopeville, and Central. There was also a Yuma game in that year. So the older schools came into existence sometime around 1910 or 1909.
And so their football season didn't start in August like we do today. Their first games were in late September or early October, and they went into Thanksgiving weekend.
Exactly. So Damian Rodriguez hands it off to Charlie Sullivan. He's going to the right side. Charlie Sullivan will take it, get a 1st and 10, and he'll go out of bounds right about the 39-yard line.
Charlie Sullivan came into the game with 522 rushing yards and 640 total yards, and Damian Rodriguez, the quarterback, came in with 898 total yards on passing, and as a result, that offensive duo is clicking right now in the first quarter and second quarter.
So Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun, doubles, one lone setback, 1st and 10. And he'll take the snap, fakes the dive, looking over the middle, a crossing route to number 14, incomplete. 14 is Gavin Marini. He didn't hold on to it very well.
He ran between the seam of Troy Marin and Abran Sasweta as the sophisticated passing game of the Central Spartans hasn't missed a beat or a drop-off from Sergio Osuna to Jordan Reed, who's now at Montana State playing quarterback as a freshman, and now the talented Damian Rodriguez.
So a 2nd and 10 from the 39 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Spartans are in control.
Well, John, you throw out all the preseason records. Spartans came into tonight's game 1-4, Bulldogs 3-2, as it's the league play that counts, and the league champion, and whoever comes in second.
Everybody's in tight.
That's Marini.
Marini with a wildcat right side, but there's penalty flags. Marini will pick up 5.
Well, tonight's officiating crew, the head linesman is J.J. Jackson, along with Mike Garcia, the back judge, and the umpire is Benny Carter. Head linesman is Randy Ross, and line judge is Gabe Castro. An outstanding officiating crew representing the Imperial Valley Football Referees Association, or Officials Association, if you will.
It's a holding penalty that goes against Central, and you're right. You know, we could the Imperial Valley Referees Association is looking for potential referees to make sure that they got enough crews for Friday night.
Well, you know, last night's game between the Hopeville Vikings and the Imperial Tigers was beautifully officiated as it was headed by John Seaman, and John Seaman also referees on Saturdays at the collegiate level.
Damian Rodriguez out of the gun, look like a screen pass.
To number 3.
Number 3, that is Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia losing some yardage there.
But Johnny's a talented 5'11", 165-pound freshman as he comes into the game with 15 receptions to his credit, as he's one of the favored targets along with Gavin Marini of quarterback. Damian Rodriguez.
3rd and 22 from the central 49-yard line.
Rodriguez in shotgun formation, flanked by Charlie Sullivan.
Sullivan will take the fake, and Rodriguez will decide to keep, has a lot of room, gets a lot of yardage, and will take it inside the 40 at the Calexico 37-yard line.
Well, he was faced with a 3rd and 22, John, and picked up 14 yards there. And so now they're faced with a 4th down and about 8, or make it, he picked up 16 yards, so make it a 4th down and 6 for the Spartans
And
in Calexico territory.
Trips left, Sullivan in the backfield. Rodriguez out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap, rolling out this way. Stutter steps and is sacked by Calexico's number 52. That is Diego Gurrola, and Calexico will take over on downs. Outstanding defensive play on that one.
Well, Calexico's defense rising to the occasion, an eye for an eye, John, and so they hold the Spartans on downs, and the Bulldogs will take over in what's considered good field position at their own 46-yard line. The ball between the two hash marks, Bulldogs going right to left on your beautiful Willis Ward Field here on your screen, live stream at VSN.net.
1st and 10. 8:35 to go, second quarter. Fake the dive, run the option, Nesquer, and we'll go down at the line of scrimmage.
So a frustrated Zeus Pratis never got the football as David Esquer decided to keep it and lost yardage on the play, a loss of 1. So make it 2nd and 11 for the Calexico Bulldogs. 8:11 remaining here in the second quarter. Calexico down by a score of 14-0.
2nd and 11 with Abraham Sasueta in there. Gonna give it to Ernie Sanchez. Goes left side, comes back this way, and now's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, and going into the 23-yard line. Ernie Sanchez picking up at least 25 yards on that carry.
Well, John, he came into the game with 302 total yards, but more importantly is that he averages 11.5 yards per carry, and evidence there on that outstanding run. Excellent field position. He uses his blocks well, and he cuts left, he zigs right, and that's what you call a cut runner, John.
1st and 10 from the 24.
Page
Going
40,
in.
Page 46 on that book Giovanni gave us.
And Sasueta runs the option. Flags all over the place. Sasueta will probably pick up about 3, 4.
Well, the flags are flying like confetti, John, here in the second quarter with 7:25 remaining. Let's see what the call is as J.J. Jackson calls his crew together.
Personal foul, face mask, central. So that's a 15-yarder, Vic.
Well, that's a gift for the Calexico offense as they're going to go from the green zone, the 30 to the 20, now into the red zone as the ball's being walked off by Benny Carter, and so now the ball is inside the 15, make it the 11-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 from the 11.
Well, John, we'd like to also recognize vaunted longtime scorekeeper for the Calexico Bulldogs, Charlie Samaripa.
Sanchez.
Lost the ball.
Was there a bad exchange? We'd have to check the replay on that one.
Well, was it a premature whistle or? And so the Bulldogs turn the ball over with 7:16 remaining.
Excellent field position, and they turn the ball over to Central.
Well, the Bulldog offense denied with 7:16 remaining here in the second quarter. So the Bulldog defense, once again, John, is being asked to restore order here and come up with a strong defensive stand. You don't want to fall behind by 21 points against this vaunted Central offense.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans, exactly at the 14.
Levántate, mi corazón. Ánimo, John. Let's not start letting that air out of the balloon yet.
I'm trying to see the numbers down there. We've got, okay, there's another stop and play and a penalty. It looks like it goes against Calexico. And is that carne asada I smell in the air?
That's carne asada you smell, John. It doesn't smell as good as your carne asada, but it's coming close. And if you haven't had dinner, it smells real good. Anyway, Damian Rodriguez comes in tonight with 100 pass attempts, 51 completions for 898 yards. He has one touchdown pass to his credit in tonight's game. Charlie Sullivan, the leading rusher, with 97 carries for 522 yards. And they've been the offense for the Central Spartans, along with Gavin Marini and Sergio Ramirez, the outstanding receivers.
Damian Rodriguez will take the snap. That's Charlie Sullivan going down the far sideline all the way up to about the 38, 39-yard line. He'll get a first down and more. First and 10 for the Spartans.
Pushed out of bounds by number 6 of Calexico.
That is Pedro Cruz.
So Bulldogs going with Andrew Rivera, Carlos Hernandez, Nisael Gastelum, and Troy Marin, the linebacking crew. Pedro Cruz, who made that tackle, along with Ishmael Burgess, number 8, are the defensive backs. And then you have the strong safety, number 22, Abraham Zazueta.
Charlie Sullivan again gets the snap, goes right side in the middle, and will take it up about 9 yards.
Charlie Sullivan, a 6'2", 180-pound running back, a do-it-all for the Central Spartans, only a junior, as he runs behind the blocking of Anthony Ramirez and Jace Ramirez to pick up 8 yards on that carry. Second and about 1.5 for the Spartans.
They'll spot the ball at the 42, at the Central 42.
They need to get to the 44 for a first down.
Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Marini in the yo-yo motion. And there's motion on the line.
Well, John, when you get that patio deck and that asador built into your house in your backyard, we'll see the charcoal flying and the carne asada being flipped and your own secret sauce, your special marination, right?
Right on.
Atta boy, cowboy, as Koki would say.
So a first down on that penalty will spot the ball at the Central 47-yard line. So 2 offsides penalties against the Bulldogs move the chains for Central.
You can open up a little carniceria, John. Tacos miendo. Está comiendo.
Pass intended for Garcia, incomplete there and blocked by, looked like Abraham Zazueta there in the right flat.
Well, John, you got a special invite for the listening audience and viewing audience as outstanding pass blocking by number 79 for the Spartans. That's Anthony Ramirez and Jace Ramirez, the center, in providing that necessary protection for quarterback Damian Rodriguez. The Spartans now faced with a 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Damian Rodriguez out of the gun. Charlie Sullivan takes the handoff, goes right up the middle. Looks like he gets a first down as he crosses midfield and into the Calexico 43-yard line.
Well, John, this outstanding running game of the Central Spartans featuring Charlie Sullivan is an excellent complement to the passing of Damian Rodriguez and the receiving of Sergio Garcia and Gavin Marini, as the Spartan offense looks like they're on the move once again with 5:15 remaining here in the first half.
First and 10 with Rodriguez out of the shotgun, looking to the left side, and pass intended for Marini.
Covered closely by Troy Marin, number 10, a 5'8", 155-pound junior. And so that pass falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 with 5:10 remaining in the second quarter. So, John, what's your commentary now after almost 2 quarters of play?
Well, we've got Central with a lot of good momentum coming in to this second quarter. They're up 14-0. The Bulldogs can't seem to get their rhythm going. They got really close to the end zone, but they fumble the ball and turn it over. That could have been a deciding factor on how the game would have moved on.
Well, John, the win is a factor aside. What were some of the keys for Bulldog success and Central success in tonight's ball game?
Well, I think some of the keys for Calexico was, like they have been, is, try to get that running game established. Try to give the ball to Ernie Sanchez. He's got some good blockers up front. Let him run. We saw what he could do. Also, once that happens, you've got receivers like Pedro Cruz, you've got Andrew Rivera, and you've got an arsenal that can really move the ball. We saw that before. So the Bulldog defense also needs the key on Charlie Sullivan.
Well, just like that old CIF axiom, John, let the players play, let the coaches coach, and let the officials officiate. And that's what David Peña is doing. He's getting the ball in the hands of his best players, particularly Charlie Sullivan, who's played at the Wildcat position as a running back, as a quarterback, a running quarterback. You have the passing of Damian Rodriguez and the receiving of Marini and Sergio Garcia. And that's 5 skilled players that provide an excellent skill set for the Spartan offense thus far after a quarter and a half of play.
2nd and 10 for Central at the Calexico 43. Everybody's in tight. Charlie Sullivan gets the handoff or gets a snap, and he'll go right side, and he will go out of bounds probably. We're trying to find out, maybe at the 40, but there are flags. There are flags on the plate. Let's see what the call is on that one.
So the Bulldogs in their traditional garnet and white uniforms, the Spartans all in white with blue numerals out trimmed in red, and their Spartan blue helmets. Everybody's wearing pink tonight as we celebrate the month of October of cancer awareness. And these fine young men and athletes are putting their best effort forward to support family, friends, neighbors. But the cause is great. The effort is timeless and all-consuming, John, and it's something that we have to continue into perpetuity.
It's a holding penalty against the Spartans. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by
the Dom Team Real Estate Company. Serves the entire Imperial Valley with a full array of services, limited not only to residential but including farmland, commercial, and industrial ground. For honest and reliable real estate advice, it's the Dom Team Real Estate Company at 760-337-8600. And by Jesus Cachu Escobar, your county supervisor, District 1, is proud to sponsor VSN. Jesus Escobar civic and community involvement include being a board member of the Borders Community Capital Company. He would like to thank his constituents of District 1 and wishes all the Valley teams a great season. And by Ojeda Industries, commercial and industrial equipment supplier. Ojeda Industries is a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries was voted Imperial Valley Press Reader's Choice for the best farming equipment provider in 2019. Located in Brawley, that's Ojeda Industries. So a 2nd and about 4 for the Spartans. Marini in the yo-yo motion is going to hand it off to Sullivan. Sullivan is carried forward, gets a first down, stopped there by Abram Sasueta, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans with 4:48 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Trips left. Looking. Steps up in the pocket. Lets it go over the middle. Man is wide open. Caught. Touchdown Central.
That was Elijah Perez, a 5'6", 160-pound wide receiver, running a post pattern, crossing over the inside hash marks, and with plenty of time, Damian Rodriguez throws a beautiful spiral from his own 34-yard line to connect with Elijah Perez and extend the Spartan lead to 20-0 over the Calexico Bulldogs with 4:24 remaining as we get set for the Miles Rodriguez point after attempt.
The snap and the set, and he will split the uprights. So with 4:21 to go, 21-0 here in the second quarter.
So just like that, John, El Centro races out to a 21-0 lead over the hosting Calexico Bulldogs.
Reach Air Medical Service, medical air transport. Patient care is our #1 priority, assuring calmness, security, and comfort. recognized for our compassionate, medically effective methods for patient transport. That's fast, safe, and reliable. Reach Air Medical Service, modern-day heroes you can count on. Donnie Wharton to provide the best service around. And by Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating. And we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and expert analysis. That's Arctic Air at 352-8855.
Well, John, we get ready for a Miles Rodriguez kick. He averages about 44 yards on a kickoff.
End over end, it looks like Andrew Rivera steps it up and takes it into the 33-yard line.
So the Bulldogs, like any offense, John, they have plays designed from the 1-yard line to the 10-yard line, and then from the 20 to the 49, and then the 50 to the opposing team's 30-yard line, and then you're in the green zone, and the play calling and the pass routes get a little tighter. So let's see what Fernando Solano is directing his young quarterback, David Esquer, an outstanding junior passer, 5'6", 145 pounds, as he's joined by Ernie Sanchez, number 21, in the I-back position.
He's running the option, looking for Prades. He pitches this time. Prades can't turn it up the field and will be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down immediately by number 12, Josuel Rodriguez, who came from the far side in from his defensive back position, blitzing on the outside, and was able to run down Prades from behind. Well, John, there's a philosophy. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And Ernie Sanchez can score from anywhere in the field, as he proved against Castle Park with an 80-yard touchdown, John, that got the ball rolling then to a 60-6 victory.
Double doubles. Fake the dive to Sanchez. Esquer steps up and is sacked a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's number 59 for the Spartans making that stop, and that's Ismael Rascon, who comes into the game with 19 tackles this season, 10 solo tackles and 2 sacks, and he added another one there.
So a 3rd and 12 for Calexico with 3 minutes to go, second quarter, down 21-0.
So Fernando Solano in his second season, he started out 1-4 in the COVID-shortened season in the spring, and 3-2 now, John, as he's trying to direct this Bulldog offense.
Sanchez in the backfield. Esquer looking, throws a screen, caught Andres Ramirez. He'll try to take it up the field, and looks like he may have fumbled the football, but...
Well, that was an outstanding tackle as he was bulldogged down to the ground by Jose Rodriguez, and as a result, might have coughed up the football. I don't know if the ground caused the fumble, John, but there's a penalty flag on the play back by where J.J. Jackson is standing in the offensive backfield of Calexico. Let's see what the call is. Usually it's a late hit to the quarterback.
And if that's the case, then it would be a 15-yarder.
So J.J. Jackson, the white hat today, conferring with Benny Carter.
Personal foul. Exactly, roughing the passer, so.
More importantly, an automatic first down. So it'll keep the drive alive, John, and your spirits up.
2:43 to go, second quarter. Calexico has the football. Looks like they're going to count off.
So defensively, the Spartans go with Dominic Lerma, Israel Rascon, Malachi Okan, and Nicolas Jimenez, the front four. The inside linebackers are Rodolfo Lizaola and Angel Ortiz. The cornerbacks are Jose Rodriguez and Charlie Sullivan. Skylar Cook, the strong safety. Joel Gonzalez, the defensive back. And don't forget number 53, Michael Fisher, 6 foot, 200 pounds, right behind the defensive line, providing that run support that's vitally needed by this central defense.
So a first down for Calexico. They'll get the ball on that penalty at the 46, their own 46. And we've got now Abraham Sasueta in shotgun. He hands the ball to Andrew Rivera. Andrew will take it up the field, get about 3 as he turns a corner on the far side.
Well, John, if you ask me, how many touches has Ernie Sanchez had in this first half?
He's had a few, but not as normally as he would as he did with Castle Park or Hopefield.
Well, look at the difference between how he's being used and how Charlie Sullivan's being used by the Central Spartans. I think if the Calexico Bulldogs want to get back into this ball game, they've got to get the ball into the hands of Ernest Sanchez, who wears jersey number 21.
And Esqued back in there again.
Sanchez open here on the flat.
Shoots the pass to Ernie Sanchez, a swing pass, incomplete, and it was up for grabs.
Well, Sanchez would have had to go up the ladder. He's 5'9". He would have had to be 6'3" to make that catch, and as a result, it falls incomplete. So the Bulldogs now faced with a 3rd and 8. The ball at the Bulldog 48-yard line.
Bulldogs can't get their octane offense moving. Esqued is there, calling the play at the huddle with 1:59 to go.
Offensive captain 56, Christian Martinez, will lead the Bulldog line out. He'll be flanked by number 67, Isaac Santiago, along with 57, Nisael Gastelum. Mario Arredondo and Yair Silva are the tackles as time is called with 1:59 remaining, and we welcome back the voice of choice.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something
3rd and 8 for Calexico. David Esqued out of the shotgun. Rivera in motion. David in the pocket, looking to Prades, incomplete as he was rolling out. So Bulldogs will now face with a 4th late in the second quarter. And we have an update with a Brawley game. 35-0 in the second quarter, Brawley over Southwest. And Palo Verde 28-0 over Calipad. Tomorrow it'll be Vincent and Desert Mirage at Southwest.
Is it Desert Mirage or Mountain Empire?
I'm sorry, Mountain Empire. Thank you for correcting me, Vic.
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
That's good, though. Bulldogs are getting set to punt.
And also honored to be in that lofty position.
Pedro Cruz with the punt, and back to receive for the Spartans. It's a nice punt that time. It takes a Spartan bounce, and it'll be downed right about the 36. And that was Gavin Marini way back to return it. So the Bulldog defense comes back onto the field.
So the ball was down by the center, Christian Martinez, and the Spartan offense will take over at their own 36-yard line as they're led out of the huddle by Jace Ramirez at center, Anthony Ramirez and Eli Osuna, the guards, Brennan Havens and Nicholas Jimenez, the tackles.
Double doubles, 1st and 10. Damon Rodriguez at his own 35. Damon Rodriguez looking over the middle. And that was Sergio Garcia running a crossing route, but guarded well by Andres Ramirez and Abraham Sasueta.
Well, he was guarded by number 3, covering number 3. I can't believe that Sergio Garcia is only a freshman, John. He's very talented.
We've seen a lot of freshmen playing this year on the varsity level.
And he's 5'11", 165 pounds. Imagine what he'll be like 3 years from now. But nevertheless, we got to come back to the present as the Spartans come out with 3 receivers to the near sideline.
2nd and 10.
Keep an eye on Skylar Cook.
At the 36.
Number 10.
Dropping back, Rodriguez looking over the middle. Passes caught. That's number 3, Sergio Garcia. And
is that considered a horse collar, John?
No, he brought him forward. So I guess if you bring him back, it would be considered a horse collar. So Sergio Garcia catches that pass and runs with it all the way up to the Bulldog 39-yard line.
As mentioned last night, I tried that on Brawley great Willie Vasquez, tight end for the Brawley Wildcats in 67, and he carried me for another 25 yards.
So I can visualizing that. 1st and 10, Damon Rodriguez with 3 receivers on the right going in that direction, shooting it. Pass is caught. That's Sergio Garcia again, gets a first down. He'll go out of bounds at the Calexico 21 in the green zone.
Well, John, if you noticed, you had Gavin Marini running a flag pattern. So that means he was running to the pylons in the corner. And then you had the short receivers running intermediate and safety valve where they were going 15 yards and out and 5 yards and out. And all Damon Rodriguez had to do as he rolled out was to look deep and then check down, which he did. And he comes up with a completion with 35 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And Al Centro threatening once again.
So 1st and 10 from the Calexico 21. Damien Rodriguez out of the shotgun, stepping up and shoots it as he's going down to Charlie Sullivan, goes incomplete.
Sullivan, the safety valve, out on the flat, and he couldn't catch up with the football, but it would have been a great play if he did. Nevertheless, a lot of pressure being applied by Gabriel Verdugo and Abraham Sasueta. As a result, the pass goes awry, and the Spartans are now faced with a 2nd and 10.
Timeout is called at Sanders Incorporated. Architecture and engineering is our expertise. A leader in design, development, and delivery, Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. By Nava Commercial and Capital Real Estate, the perfect time for you to refinance may be now. Don't miss your chance to save cash or shorten your loan term. Reach out to discuss your options at 760-960-3049. George Nava is there to help you out. Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate. Dippy Duck, IID's official safety mascot, has been teaching children water safety for more than 50 years. Recognizing the need to further educate youth in the Valley, he recently took on the challenge of promoting energy safety as well. Remember, keep your thermostat at 78. So a 35-6 halftime score with the Brawley and Southwest game tonight in the other IVL League game being played October 1st, 2021. 2nd and 10. The Spartans at the Calexico 21. 26 seconds to go in the second quarter. Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Dropping back. Everybody's in the pattern, shooting. And that's Charlie Sullivan coming out of the backfield. Gets the reception and goes out of bounds at the Calexico 13. He'll get a 1st and 10. They'll move the chains. And Central will have a couple more shots to go into the end zone.
Well, Charlie Sullivan, one of the top rushers in the Imperial Valley, came into the game with 5 receptions for 34 yards. But more importantly, he keeps the El Centro drive alive with 18 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Spartans leading 21-0 over the Bulldogs, threatening to score again as the ball's inside the 20 at the 17.
Rodriguez rolling out, looking for Charlie Sullivan, wide open, but he's going to go deep into the end zone, and the pass is caught. Touchdown, Central. And that is number 3, Sergio Garcia, only a freshman, 5'11", 165.
So Garcia running into the end zone and running a dig pattern where he digs his left foot, the pivot foot, deep into the defensive back and then cuts out to the sideline. And as a result, the ball was there waiting for him. And once again, the Spartan juggernaut scores again.
Miles Rodriguez for the extra point for the Central Spartans. Snap, set, kick. And he is perfect. 4 point afters will give the score 28-0 Central. Johnny's Burritos is a family-run business established in 1963 by Johnny Palomino and his wife Ana Maria Palomino. Eat what you love at Johnny's Burritos, located in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial. Open Monday through Saturday. Johnny's Burritos. By Havens & Sons Trucking is located at 603 East Main in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for your landscaping materials and needs. It's Havens Landscaping. Let us know what you need for your next project. Call us at 352-6735, a proud sponsor of VSN. And by Fred Miramontes, Undersheriff, reminds you that you can start a neighborhood watch program in your rural area. Call them at 442-265-2000.
Well, John, we get set for another Miles Rodriguez kickoff.
And it's a squib kick. It'll be picked up. No, it won't be picked up. Andres Ramirez falls on it way back at the 7-8 yard line.
Well, John, if this was a baseball game, 1 run scores, 2 run scores as the ball goes through the infield and through the outfield to the warning track. Anyway, the Bulldogs find themselves down by a score of 28-0. Unfavorable field position as that errant kick that was handled by the Calexico Bulldogs before it finally came down to a rest inside their own 15-yard line. So with 6 seconds, I would believe that David Esqued would wisely take a knee and let the clock run out, and the Bulldogs can regroup at halftime under the tutelage and direction of head coach Fernando Solano.
And it looks like they may be doing that, Vic.
So the Spartans come out roaring after 2 quarters of play, John, to defend their IVL crown 4 consecutive seasons.
David Esqued will take a knee, and that'll be it. They added more seconds on the clock, Vic, but that should do it. That should take us into the halftime with a score, Central 28, Calexico 0. Listen to the Que Pasa Calexico podcast for candid conversations with many of Imperial Valley personalities. Jose Alejos has been hosting the podcast for over 5 years and has interviewed people who have ties to the Imperial Valley. Stay tuned for the next Que Pasa Calexico with Jose Alejos. Learn, grow, and make the Imperial Valley a better place. And by La Resaca has the absolute best Mexican-style seafood, chavelas, and of course, best clamatos anywhere. Try the Sonora Fusion in El Centro for the best cuts of aged beef. La Resaca at 221 Campillo Street in Calexico and at 6th and State in El Centro. You want to stay up to date with the latest in the Imperial Valley sports coverage? Follow us on Twitter, Valley Sports Net, and make sure to have your post notifications turned on.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting Imperial Valley football on VSN Sports.net, the Valley Sports Network, and the source for Imperial Valley sports. For John Moreno, this is Vic Carrillo of Bulldog Media at Willis Ward Field in Calexico as the Calexico Bulldogs hosting their traditional rival, the Central Spartans, in a rivalry that goes back to 1915. And the historical wizard to provide all that information is your good friend and mine, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, thank you, Vic. This is interesting, and a lot of this information that we share on our broadcast is brought to you by Mike Charles from the class of '60, who's done an extensive amount of research on not only the football history, but the history of Calexico in general. And I still keep in touch with him, and he sends me information on history during the 40s and 50s and what the town was like back then, and even further. And he was, growing up in the 1940s and 50s with Calexico was just, a smidgen of what it is now.
Well, it's like the Midnighters, the town I live in, John. But don't forget Ruben Gordy de Necochea, also a classmate and teammate of Mike Charles in the class of 1960, along with Victor Esquer, who heads the Bulldog Alumni Network, the class of '63, that have provided us an opportunity to reach out to Bulldog alumni, not only globally, internationally, nationally, but there's a strong section of Bulldog alumni in the South Bay area of San Diego, and Victor Esquer organizes that great Bulldog brunch the second Wednesday of December that's held at the Old Town Mexican Cafe in Old Town in San Diego. But John, tonight, Calexico came in looking to reverse their fortunes after dropping 4 consecutive games to the Central Spartans and looking to come in to right the ship, but they found themselves quickly falling behind by a score of 28-0 after 2 quarters of play. What does head coach Fernando Solano, in his second season as the head coach for the Calexico Bulldogs, what's he saying to his team to get them ready to come out to give us 2 more quarters of outstanding Bulldog football?
Well, the defense has been on the field a little too long, and so he's trying to keep that offense from Central under wraps by keying on Garcia, keying on Sullivan, and keying on Damon Rodriguez. That defense has been on the field too long, and when the offense comes on, Calexico's offense, they sputter, they make mistakes, and they really can't get the rhythm going. And so I think he's going to come back, and the offense for David Esqued and Andrew Rivera and Zeus Paredes and Ernest Sanchez get the ball in their hands to see what they can do.
Well, that's interesting that you point out Ernest Sanchez. He's the main playmaker for Calexico. He can score from any spot on the field, John, but he's only had a few touches in the first 2 quarters of play. He comes in averaging 11.5 yards per carry, 302 total yards thus far in this early part of the season. He's missed 4 quarters of play in the early season due to an ankle injury. But John, if Calexico wants to get back in the ball game, they need to take advantage of Ernest Sanchez and utilize him more effectively and more often. Also, Abram Sassueta or Abram Sassueta, do everything quarterback, wildcat type of player. They need to get him more involved in the Bulldog offense if the Bulldogs want to make a dent into this 28-point disadvantage.
Let's talk about that first quarter and the first half, Vic, and the summary. Give us a summary of what the Bulldogs did, what they didn't do, and what Central did to get this 28-0 lead.
Well, the opening coin flip, John, Calexico won the toss, but they deferred to the second half. So they kicked off to the Central Spartans, and the Spartans put on an 8-play drive, driving down the length of the field, culminating with a touchdown pass from Damian Rodriguez to Gavin Marini, their leading receiver and one of the top receivers in the Imperial Valley. After that, the Spartans unleashed Charlie Sullivan from his tailback position, and the Spartans have not looked back since then as they've added 3 more touchdowns in the remaining play of the first half, and they go in at halftime leading 28-0 as we see the teams now coming out on the field, particularly Calexico, as they're coming out for their halftime warm-ups, John. Hopefully the Bulldogs have been able to rejuvenate themselves at halftime and will come out and disregard the score, and it's 0-0 for the final 2 quarters of play, and just come out here, have fun, play hard, and do your best, and we'll see what the score is at the end of the game.
And we'll be right back.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Go ahead.
Welcome back, everybody, to VSN, Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley Sports and Bulldog Media 2021. As we get set for the second half kickoff by Miles Rodriguez, number 25 for the Spartans, as they are cruising to a 28-0 lead as it's a short kick. And we now welcome back the voice of choice, your friend and mine, Johnny Moo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, that was number 7, David Rivera, who caught the pooch right about the 35-yard line. They'll spot it right at the 33, though.
Well, John, it's a family affair. Not only did my brother-in-law, Gus Karupas, come in to watch the game. He was a graduate in 1976 of Central, and they're celebrating their class reunion tomorrow night. But also my oldest brother, Raleigh, who's in the Bulldog Hall of Fame, along with his son, Raleigh III, and Luke, Ryan, and Maya.
Sassueta running the option. Fakes the dive to Sanchez, keeps it, and tries to go right side, just gets a yard.
And he was brought down immediately by number 22, Jared Martin, a 6'2 freshman, 190 pounds, excuse me. You know, John, the Spartans have a lot of young players, underclassmen on their squad and playing prominent positions and making their contributions felt here for the Central Spartans. Sergio Garcia on the offensive end, and that was Jared Martin, another freshman, 6'2", 190 pounds, making that tackle.
Rivera in motion. He'll take the handoff. Breaks a tackle and can't get much there as he's moving back and forth by the line of scrimmage.
Not able to get any traction as he's hit immediately by Julian Cortez, 6'1", 175 pounds, and knocked back into the other horde of Spartan tacklers. And so a short gain for the Bulldogs. They're now faced with a 3rd and 9, the ball at their own 34-yard line.
Sassueta out of the shotgun. Sanchez in the backfield. Prades in motion. Sassueta rolling out this way, looking, shooting, and overthrows Zeus Prades.
Zeus Prades, who was running a flare pattern coming out of the backfield, and as a result, the pass falls incomplete. The Bulldogs now faced with a 4th and 9.
And they can't seem to get their rhythm going here on the offense. And Pedro Cruz for Calexico will do the punting duties. And number 8.
Elijah Perez, 5'6", 160-pound senior for the Spartans, standing inside his own 40-yard line, awaiting the punt of Pedro Cruz.
And he'll take the snap. It's a high punt. And nobody will return it. So the Spartans get good field position at the Bulldog 47-yard line as they'll come in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 10:21 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs were 4 and out here as they started out the third quarter trying to make a dent into this 28-0 margin enjoyed by the Central Spartans. So the Spartans, with their first offensive series of the third quarter, with excellent field position at the Bulldog 47-yard line.
So 1st and 10, Damon Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Marini in motion. Hands it off to Sullivan. Sullivan will take it up and pick up 5.
Well, with the injury to talented sophomore Zarian Robinson, the workload has been thrust upon the shoulders of Charlie Sullivan, and he's risen to the task and the challenge, John, as he leads the Valley running backs in rushing with over 600 yards, and he's adding to that total tonight as he's just pierced the Calexico Bulldog rush defense repeatedly.
2nd and 5 at the 42 with Rodriguez out of the gun. Fake the dive to Sullivan, looking over the middle. And it's intercepted by Calexico. And that is number 3, Andre Ramirez. And he is hit out of bounds at the 47 of Central as penalty flags fly.
Well, Ramirez didn't like that tackle and hit by Charlie Sullivan as he's brutally knocked out of bounds. But that's a good old-fashioned football play, John. But anyway, he got up screaming at Sullivan, and flags are flying. So maybe that reaction by Ramirez will make that run all for naught.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Central.
And that was Charlie Sullivan with just a good old-fashioned solid football hit, John, in my opinion. But safety is the primary rule of the Referees Association to protect the safety of the players and their health, and that's why that flag came out immediately.
That's right. And we've heard about safety this whole season, and not only safety in playing the game, but you've got this COVID pandemic. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty, I guess, from the spot of the foul, and they'll spot the ball now. Calexico's got excellent field position at the Central 32-yard line.
Well, John, with COVID causing a lot of programs to minimize their practice time and the lack of Pop Warner leagues or youth leagues to prepare these players, as we give Ernie Sanchez the football.
And Ernie will dive up, get a couple, and take it right across the 30-yard line at the 30.
Brought down by number 32 of the Spartans, that being Rodolfo Lizaola.
So a 2nd and about 8 for Calexico at the Spartan 30-yard line. In the third quarter, 9:07 and counting. The Bulldogs down 28-0 against the IVL champs, the Central Spartans. 2nd and 8. Sassueta's in there. Sanchez. Rivera in the slot, going in motion. Sassueta looking. Overthrows Sanchez. No.
Andrew Rivera,
excuse me, and couldn't get the handle on that football.
Well, he was a little extra zip on the football, and it was beyond the reach of Andrew Rivera, an outstanding sophomore receiver, as Fernando Solano trying to come up with the right formula here or somebody that can lead this offense successfully down the field against the El Centro Spartans. The Bulldogs' deepest penetration was to the 8-yard line in the first half, and then the El Centro defense stiffened up and held them on downs.
Sassueta's back in there. Prades, left side. Sassueta dropping back, looking. Sanchez, little swing pass. He's got some running room and slips at about the 25-yard line, Vic. He'll pick up 5, and he'll bring up a 4th and short for Calexico.
And that was an exciting 5 yards that he picked up, John, as he cut to his left, to his right, and then shifted gears and lost his footing there on this beautiful Willis Ward field put together by Chris De La Rosa and his line crew. And as a result, right on the 25-yard line where the cancer awareness ribbon is, the Bulldogs will come out in offensive formation faced with a 4th and 3.
Sanchez in the backfield along with Sasueta Rivera.
Is that an illegal motion?
That's
or
probably an illegal shift, or is a timeout is called. It could have been a 5-yard penalty. So Calexico takes a timeout, and so will we. For the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. Stay tuned as we will announce the VSN Burgers and Beer player of the game as soon as this game is over. Great food, great service. That's Burgers and Beer. Subscribe to our VSN YouTube channel and follow VSN on Instagram. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor. For all your heavy metal needs, Ivy Welding. Call Fred Baeza at 760-482-WELD. Ivy Welding and Mechanical in El Centro. By Marianne Valenzuela, your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley, specializing in auto, home, business, life, and more. And with over 20 years of experience, Marianne will help figure out what coverage you need to take control of your financial future. Like a good neighbor, Marianne Valenzuela State Farm Insurance. And by Top Notch Barbershop. Check out the Top Notch Barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro. Sundays, 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, with their specials on Wednesdays. 4th and short. Sasueta hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez will go left side and gets the first down. He'll take it to about the 21, move those chains, picking up 4 yards. So Sanchez gets a first down for Calexico. They'll spot the ball right at the 21-yard line. And Sasueta, we were seeing more of him in this third quarter, as Esquer has not seen any action. So a 1st and 10 for Calexico at the Spartan 21-yard line. Prades in motion. That's a low snap, but makes do with it. And he slips and falls and will be spotted right there. Actually, he'll be losing 3 yards. So a 2nd and about 14 for Calexico. And Calexico on a mistake there cost him 4 yards. So 2nd and long for Calexico. Sasueta took a bad snap, tried to make something happen, and the exchange to Prades did not go as planned.
Well, John, I apologize for that missed action. There was photos with a family coming down from San Diego.
Another bad snap from center. So there has to be some discussion and exchange there between center and quarterback.
So the Bulldogs faced with a 2nd and 15. The ball at the 24-yard line, make it the 26 as Benny Carter has it placed on his hip. Now he puts it down at the 26-yard line of the Spartans as time has been called. So with 6:25 remaining, Central 28, Calexico 0.
For the most in-depth local and regional news and the best high school sports coverage around, check out the Calexico Chronicle and the Hauteville Tribune in print or online at the all-new CalexicoChronicle.com, chronicling our community and border region and beyond since 1904. The Robinson Ford family is proud to support breast cancer awareness, and we pray for the many people in our Imperial Valley who have suffered from this grave illness. Stomp out breast cancer in the month of October. Robinson Ford Sales reminds you, due to the chip shortage, new car inventory is increasing slower than usual. And have you earned your varsity letter? We'll get your Letterman jacket started today. LettermanandBros.com at 760-693-5034. Ask for Dan at Letterman's and Bro. So Calexico now with a second and about 15. Sasueta dropping back, looking, lets it go, and it's intercepted.
That's Skylar Cook, John.
At the 3, going to the far sideline. Ernie Sanchez tries to stop, and Skylar Cook is fast. He'll take it out of bounds at about the 40.
And it takes a horde of Bulldogs to try to bring him down just past the 40-yard line as he makes it out to the 42, but he intercepted that pass inside the 5-yard line off the thrown by Abram Sasueta. So Calexico once again denied as the Spartan defense rises to the occasion, particularly ball hawk Skylar Cook.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 40.
A 2-time All-Valley performer, John, showing his athleticism here on that play.
Double doubles with Damian Rodriguez out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off to number 3, Sergio Garcia. An update from the Brawley game. Brawley 43, Southwest 6. And that should be probably in the third quarter. We have 5:52 to go in our third quarter here. Calexico still needs to get on the board, but they're having a tough time. So a second and about 6 for Central at their own 44. Marini in the yo-yo motion. Charlie Sullivan gets the handoff and stopped there. Looks like a fumble. Did Calexico recover?
Well, John, I was impressed the way the acceleration and explosion of Charlie Sullivan once he got the handoff. He just blew past the line of scrimmage and the defensive line of the Calexico Bulldogs, where it takes the linebackers and the defensive backs to come up to try to make that stop. But by then he's already 8 yards into the secondary and almost making it to the first down marker. We'll see what the call is here, is if the whistle blew on contact or if that fumble will be allowed. You know, that was a deciding factor almost in the Hopeville Imperial game last night in the closing minutes, where the ball was recovered by Imperial, then rewarded back to Hopeville, but it was all for naught as the Vikings were not able to pull out what was a tough loss, 14-8.
So 5:26 and counting in this third quarter. Central has the football right around midfield on a 1st and 10 with Damian Rodriguez. Bulldogs showing blitz. Perez in motion. Looking in that direction. Shoots it over. Pass is caught.
That's Marini.
And there's flags. Marini for a 10-yard gain.
So Marini running a 5-yard button hook or curl in for those that are using modern terminology, and just waited for the pass and then looked for some open space and was able to advance the ball, what looked like a first down, but it looks like there's a penalty called against the Spartans that will nullify that gain and that passing catch from Damian Rodriguez.
It's a holding penalty. It's a 10-yarder, so they're going to put it right about the 40, their Central 42-yard line.
So we'll be repeating first down, I believe. The ball at the Spartan 43-yard line.
1st and 20, or 1st and 18. Rodriguez out of the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the near side. Looks like somebody moved.
And that looked like Elijah Perez prematurely coming off the blocks there, John. He might have been the intended receiver, and that's why he wanted to get into the secondary quickly. But the Spartan offense denied there once again. So add another 5 yards to that illegal motion.
It'll be a 1st and 23 for Central, and they'll have the ball at their own 37-yard line. They've got to get to the Bulldog 40 for a first down.
Well, with some assistance of the referees, John, the Calexico Bulldog defense is playing outstanding right now.
1st and 20.
First and forever.
1st and a whole bunch. Rodriguez, everybody's coming in tight. And that looks like it's Charlie Sullivan out of the Wildcat. And Charlie Sullivan will pick up 7, 8 maybe?
Try 12. 12 yards on that play.
Okay. So they'll move it to the 46.
So the Bulldog defense, keyed by Nisael Gastelum and Andrew Rivera, along with Troy Marin, trying to get the ball back from the Central Spartans with 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Trips left. And Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Looking in that direction, rolling out. Shoots it. The pass is caught. It was a low pass. And that is Marini coming this way. He's at the 25-20, 15.
Cuts back inside the 3-yard
And
line.
touchdown, Central. Gavin Marini
With a 46-yard pass, catch, and run from Damian Rodriguez to add 6 more points to the Spartans' 28, making it 34-0 with 3:43 remaining here in the third quarter, and will get set for the Miles Rodriguez point after attempt. So, John, an outstanding pass, catch, and run, great athleticism, skill in Gavin Marini, the leading receiver for the Central Spartans, and a very positive and confident pass-catching duo of Marini and the throwing of Rodriguez.
And the extra point is good. And so with 3:43 third quarter, Central is up 35-0. Need real estate services? Thinking of buying or selling a house? Wondering what your property is worth? Get top dollar on your investment. Call Marcus Sked, real estate broker, offering professional friendly service for over 27 years. Call for a free market quote at 357-9707. Sked Realty, the mark of excellence. The Town Pump Steakhouse will be opening up October 5th. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Call us at 760-344-3663 for reservations. Located at 200 West Main in Westmoreland, the Town Pump serves up a delicious and savory steak and lobster dinner. Come by and experience a Valley tradition for over 50 years.
Well, Calexico lines up with Andrew Rivera as the deep back. The up back is Pedro Cruz, number 6, standing inside his own 20 at the 22-yard line. Rodriguez with a kickoff.
And it'll be picked up by Andres Ramirez at the 10. Coming this way at the 25, 30.
Couple of blocks.
35. And dropped out of bounds at about the 42.
And that was number 32 linebacker Rodolfo Lizaola Jr., 5'11", 190 pounds, John. So the Bulldogs with good field position with 3:34 remaining here in the third quarter. What's happening?
And we'd like to send a shout out to the Calexico Fire Department. Abel Esquer and the gentlemen from the fire department are tuning us in. Thank you, Abel, and all our best to the hardest working fire department in the Valley. The Calexico Fire Department. 1st and 10. David Esquer under center. Hands off the football. And that's Sanchez. He's fighting his way right up the middle and picks up a couple.
Tell the crowd to remain in their seats.
And
Tell the crowd to stay in their seats.
And we have a little action here in the grandstand. So a 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs at their own 41. David Esqued out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap, stepping up, decides to keep and take it 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. So a 3rd and about 6 for Calexico, right about midfield at the 48.
Well, John, right now the Bulldogs are playing for pride as they put David Esquer, number 1, back in at quarterback as they try to get something going. I'd still like to see the ball in the hands of Ernest Sanchez more frequently if the Bulldogs want to get something going and also to build up for next Friday's game.
Against Southwest. Doubles. A little dump and run. Pedro Cruz dropped at the line of scrimmage.
And he's manhandled there by number 12 of the Spartans. That's Josuel Rodriguez, one of the defensive backs. So the Spartan defense, tenacious all night, not giving the Bulldogs an opportunity to show any measured success, particularly when they get inside the red zone. And the Bulldogs now punting from their own 48-yard line. Cruz standing at his own 38, awaiting the snap from Christian Martinez.
And Pedro Cruz, it's got the height, but there's no distance, and it goes out of bounds inside the 45 at around the 43. So the Spartans will take over at their own 43-yard line.
So
45.
John, what are your thoughts thus far with 1:23 remaining here in the third quarter?
I think Central is faster and they're stronger than Calexico, and a lot of the both sides of their skill positions are going both ways. So that's they're pretty even with that. But Central is just a little is at ahead more with their strength and conditioning, and I think that could be that is a factor. We've got equal amounts of talent. So 1st and 10, Damian Rodriguez, and that looked a little too long to develop.
Well, John, I'd like to correct myself. Not only mentioning Chris De La Rosa, but that outstanding grounds crew for the Calexico Unified School District that got this field ready. You have Chris De La Rosa, Willie Paz Jr., Enrique Luquin, Fernando Manjares, Jose de Jesus Gutierrez, Victor Lara, Carlos Rivera, and Eddie Obeso. An outstanding team, dedicated Bulldogs, John, dedicated employees of the Calexico Unified School District, and it's reflected here on this beautiful Willis Ward field.
Well, they take pride in what they do, Vic, and it's obvious that all those gentlemen that you've mentioned have taken pride in getting this field ready. We've got one more home game toward the end of October, which hopefully will be decorated as such too. So they do their work with pride.
Well, John, we've been to stadiums in San Diego, and we've been to fields throughout the Imperial Valley, and the San Diego stadiums have that artificial turf that always looks green, but this preparation of Willis Ward Field, bar none, John, it is outstanding. It's at the top of the list. So kudos, Chris, to your crew, all the gentlemen that I just mentioned, and it bodes well for the future of Calexico to have you guys as the backbone of the Calexico Unified School District.
1st and 10 for Central at their own 45-yard line.
Arriba, Bulldogs.
Arriba. Ain't no pity in Bulldog City. So Marini with a swing pass, losing a couple, maybe a yard. So it'll be brought back to about the 43.
Making the tackle for Calexico immediately, number 52 of the Bulldogs.
We've got about a minute to go in the third
Diego
quarter.
Gurola, 5'8", 185 pounds. He was later joined by his teammates, number 56, Christian Martinez, as well as the Calexico Bulldog defense has been on the field, as you said earlier, John, during the halftime commentary, quite a bit, and they're getting tired, but there's no quit in the Bulldogs.
Trips right for Central. Rodriguez looking over the middle. The pass is caught. Marini on a crossing route runs into some people and is brought down at about the 34-yard line of Calexico.
That was Pedro Cruz and Andres Castro making the stop there, but not until Marini is able to pick up a first down, running a crossing pattern from the far side of the field, running 10 yards downfield, then cutting across, running diagonally with a pinstripe, and able to advance the ball to the Bulldog 34-yard line. First and 10.
1st and 10 Central at the Calexico 34, trips right.
This might be the last play of the third quarter.
Damian Rodriguez looking in that direction. He finds a man open, but underthrows him. Elijah Perez.
Underthrew him and behind him. So the first errant pass on display by Damian Rodriguez with 2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. That incomplete pass will stop the clock.
2nd and 10.
Well, the Central Spartans coming out with a balanced attack, John, running the ball with authority and putting on a passing display that has had Calexico's defense on their heels throughout the ball game.
And Rodriguez airs it out, and nobody there. And he gets hit hard, though.
Pass intended for number 14, Gavin Marini, falling incomplete.
At Imperial Printers, we're ready to help you with your next project, from business cards to yard signs and everything in between. Give us a call at 352-1300 for a quote or any questions you might have. Located at 430 West Main in El Centro, Imperial Printers, what can we print for you today? Need a job? You need to hire someone who needs a job? Give Keystone HR a call at 357-2929 for all your staffing needs, specializing in payroll services, part-time and full-time staffing, workers' comp, healthcare, and more. Keystone HR in Calexico is a proud sponsor of Imperial Valley football. The Dom Team. Real estate company serves the entire Imperial Valley with a full array of services, limited not only to residential but including farmland, commercial, and industrial ground. For honest and reliable real estate advice, it's the Dom Team Real Estate Company at 337-8600. And by Cachu Escobar, your supervisor, District 1, a proud sponsor of VSN. His civic and community involvement includes being a board member of the Border Community Capital Company. Escobar would like to thank his constituents of District 1, and he wishes all the Valley teams a great season. You want to stay up to date with the latest in Imperial Valley sports coverage? Follow us on Twitter and make sure to have post notifications turned on. So Central now going left to right. They've got the football at the Calexico, looks like the 35-yard line, with Damien Rodriguez and Charlie Sullivan in the backfield. 3 receivers here to the near side. 1 split far. Rodriguez steps up and is sacked by the Calexico defense. As the Calexico defense is stepping up, number 10, that's Troy Marin, getting into the backfield. So a loss of about 4. As we start the fourth quarter of play, the Spartans now faced with a 3rd and about 14 at the 38. Damien Rodriguez with Sullivan in the backfield. He's shooting like a screen pass, getting away from everybody down the far sideline and scoring a touchdown for Central. That is number 9 for the Spartans. Arturo Estrada catches a little dump pass here, the left flat, and just goes down the far sideline from about what it could be the 38, 39-yard line, as they're now going with an extra point from...
Well, Arturo Estrada getting an opportunity to show his ability, and he put on quite a display there, John, on that passing catch and run.
And we have the young lady now with a point after. Snap, set, and she splits the uprights.
Was that Samantha?
Samantha Garcia with the point after.
Well, Samantha Garcia in place of Milas Rodriguez getting an opportunity, and a welcome one at that, as the Spartans extend their lead to 42-0 over the Calexico Bulldogs. So with 11:02 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Calexico Bulldogs trying to get back into this ball game, but the El Centro Spartans are in cruise control right now, John, but they haven't hesitated to put the foot on the accelerator.
You know, I think when you talk about the condition of the field and you talk about what's happening at Calexico High School with the construction, I think, you've got to give credit also to the leadership of the district office and the superintendent, but more so the board of trustees who set policy and oversee the budget and make things happen. So, our 5 board members, thank you for allowing a lot of this to really happen and becoming the jewel of the Valley, Ward Field in Calexico.
Well, they haven't done it alone, John. There are other previous boards that established the base and foundation, but it's been a positive and successful continuation and continuity of those efforts in that leadership. But the important thing is to try to ensure the success of every student in the district.
Exactly. And Andrew Rivera took that kickoff and brought it up to about the 33 of Calexico, where Calexico now will be 1st and 10. They're down 42-0 in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's a beautiful field, John. New seating areas that can accommodate 4,000 fans, an all-weather running track to support the track program, and this beautiful gridiron that we see in front of us.
Sanchez gets the handoff, breaks away, the 50, the 45, the 40, and runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Sanchez picking up a whole bunch of yards on that one.
With number 27, Angel Ortiz in pursuit. But Sanchez, John, he's a game breaker, and we could have seen a lot of that tonight in the first three quarters if they would have taken the wraps off him and just let him show what he can do. But nevertheless, we'll take advantage of what he has done right now, and that's to give Calexico excellent field position and a first down.
Esqued running the option, keeps it, runs it perfectly, going to the far sideline, crossing the 25 into about the 21-yard line. So David Esqued on the option keeper will take the ball to the 21. And another first down.
And he was brought down by number 52 of the Spartans, and that was Julian Ramirez, a senior, able to track him down from behind, but not until Esqued is able to give the Bulldogs a second consecutive first down.
Double doubles, Esqued. That's Abraham Sasueta now in the quarterback position. Sanchez with a handoff. Wait a minute.
He still has the
He
ball.
still has
Takes a
the
couple
ball.
of tackles.
He
but he's
ran into a wall and goes to the right.
Running laterally, not able to move forward and go northbound, and as a result, no gain on the play, possibly a yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 22-yard line of the Spartans. Bulldogs going right to left on your radio dial, also right to left on your visual screen as the Calexico Bulldogs with Abraham Sasueta at quarterback.
And he's going to hand it off to Sanchez. Sanchez takes it up the middle, crossing the 20 to about the 17.
Sanchez running behind the blocking of Christian Martinez and Nisael Gastelum, able to find a running lane to pick up 6 yards on the play, so make it 3rd and 7. They were faced with a 2nd and 13.
So a 3rd and about 7. The ball inside the 20 at the 18. Sasueta out of the shotgun. He decides to fake the dive and keep it on the option. Crossing the 15 into the 10 for another 1st and 10 for Calexico.
Did he pick up that first down, John? He might be a couple of yards shy.
In fact, he's a yard or two over now. He's at looks like the 9 or the 10-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 10.
So would it be considered 1st and goal, or does he need to get to the 1-yard line for another first down?
Well, no, I think
if he doesn't make it to the end zone.
He needs to get just inside the 1. But when you're that far, you might as well go for the touchdown.
And John, you still have eyes like a hawk at 60 years of age.
Hey, don't be saying my age on the air. So we got a 1st and goal now. So 1st and goal. They put in Esquer. Sanchez goes to the right. Takes it inside the 5 at the 5. A pickup of 5.
Well, John, when we used to go shop at Sing Lee's Market, we used to always add years to our age. We were a perennial 21 years of age when we were 14 through 18. It was an institution on 5th and Blair.
It sure was.
Pancho's Market, otherwise known as Sing Lee's.
So Abraham Sasueta back in the game. 5:44 and counting in the fourth quarter. 42-0 Central. Calexico knocking on the Spartan door. Sasueta. Shotgun. Sanchez in the backfield. Sasueta takes the ball and is taking it a little further up to the 1-yard line.
And if so, John, it might be enough for a first down.
Well, no, it's 3rd and goal now.
Oh, it's a 3rd and goal.
Yeah,
Okay, my
they
correction.
dropped the sticks at the 10.
So they have 2 chances or 2 plays to get into the end zone, John.
And it looks like timeout is called with 5:03 to go in this football game. Commercial and industrial equipment supplier Ojeda Industries is proud to sponsor the Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries was voted an Ivy Press Reader's Choice for the best farming equipment provider for 2019. Located in Brawley, Ojeda Industries is here to serve you. Patient care is our #1 priority, assuring calmness, security, and comfort, recognized for our compassionate, medically effective methods for patient transport. Reach Air Medical Service with fast, safe, and reliable. Reach Air Medical Service, modern-day heroes. You can count on Donnie Wharton to provide the best service around. At Arctic Air Conditioning, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment. Contact Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating at 352-8855. Proud sponsor of Imperial Valley Football.
So the Bulldogs come out with a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and goal, John, from the 2-yard line with Sazueta at quarterback. He's joining the backfield with Ernest Sanchez.
He'll take it and cross the goal line. Touchdown, Calexico. Abraham Sazueta will score
Well,
for
he lowered
Calexico.
his head, John, and just with a lot of determination, bowled his way into the end zone for the Calexico's first score of the ball game. That was brought to you with 4:45 remaining in the 4th quarter. Never too late. And the Bulldogs now with their traditional fight song as we get set for number 99, Lorenzo Rodriguez. Getting set for the point after attempt.
Snap, set, kick. He takes one step. It's blocked. It's no good. So it's 42-6 with 4 minutes and 15 seconds. At Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise. A leader in design, development, and delivery, Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. The perfect time for you to refinance may be now. Don't miss your chance to save cash or shorten your loan term. Reach out to discuss your options with George Nava of Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate at 760-960-3049. Dippy Duck, IID's official safety mascot, has been teaching children water safety for more than 50 years. Recognizing the need to further educate youth in the Valley, he recently took on the challenge of promoting energy safety as well. Remember, please stay safe around the canals. Johnny's Burritos is a family-run business established in 1963 by Johnny Palomino and his wife Ana Maria Palomino. Eat what you love at Johnny's Burritos, located in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial. So Calexico kicking off now to the Central Spartans with 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, down 42-6. Lorenzo Rodriguez, the big fella. And he pooches it. Number 12 at the 35. That is Josiel Rodriguez. And is brought down around the 32. So Central will have a crack, 2 minutes, and they'll probably just run out the clock. Maybe get a first down.
Well, we might see Hayden Hernandez, a senior quarterback, coming in to see some spot duty here with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Okay, Mr. Rudy Huerta Jr., thank you for coming. So a new quarterback, John, number 11, Hayden Hernandez, comes into the game with 13 completions out of 22 attempts for 221 yards.
Hayden Hernandez. We saw him play, I believe, one of the other games, but
against
there's movement.
Mount Carmel.
And there was movement on the line. And it may be against Calexico. We'll see. It's false start against the Spartans.
So the Spartans clearing the bench and putting in some new players to give them some game experience. Hayden Hernandez a 5'8", 185-pound senior.
And we have a final score in Brawley. Brawley 50 and Southwest 6. And the handoff to number 8, that is Elijah Perez. And he'll take it right to about 33-yard line, 2nd and 12.
Well, the primary ball carriers behind Charlie Sullivan have been Zarian Robinson, who's out with an ankle injury, and Arturo Estrada, both sophomores. So in shotgun formation, Hayden Rodriguez.
Hernandez,
correction.
And another handoff, number 8, Elijah Perez. And a nice form tackle by Andrew Rivera, stopping him.
And that's another talented sophomore for Calexico, Andrew Rivera, the great-grandson of the late Francis and Pete Alvarado, the grandson of Angie Alvarado Rivera, along with Eddie Rivera, Eddie from the class of 66, Angie from the class of 65, as this game comes to an end. So after 4 quarters of play, the Central Spartans escape with a 42-6 victory over the hosting Calexico Bulldogs.
And we'll be right back with more in a minute on the Calexico Bulldog Radio Network.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
VSN is brought to you by Havens & Sons Trucking, located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for all your landscaping materials and needs. It's Havens Landscaping. Call us at 352-6735. Don't forget to subscribe to our VSN YouTube channel and follow VSN on Instagram. Fred Miramontes, Undersheriff, reminds you that you can start a neighborhood watch program in your rural area. The Sheriff's Department Crime Prevention Unit can assist you by meeting with you and your neighbors. Call us at 442-265-2000. Support your neighborhood watch volunteers. And listen to the Que Pasa Calexico podcast for candid conversations with many of Imperial Valley personalities. Jose Alejos has been hosting the podcast for over 5 years and has interviewed people who have ties to the Imperial Valley. Stay tuned for the next Que Pasa Calexico with Jose Alejos. Learn, grow, and make the Imperial Valley a better place. And by La Resaca and Sonora Fusion, the absolute best Mexican-style seafood, chavelas, and of course, best clamatos anywhere. Try the Sonora Fusion in El Centro for the best cuts of aged beef. La Resaca at 221 Campillo Street in Calexico, and in El Centro at 6th and State. Vic, let's wrap up our post game here with the Calexico Bulldogs and the Central Spartans.
Well, John, El Centro, the Central Spartans, 4 times defending champion over the last 4 years, and the winner of the bell game against Brawley for 4 consecutive years, is not going to give up the throne as what they enjoy. And so tonight was evidence of that as they raced out to an early 28-0 halftime lead, and they kept the afterburners on, John, and they culminating in a 42-6 victory over the Calexico Bulldogs, while Brawley up in the north end was devastating the Southwest Eagles, and it looks like they're both going to be primed for the bell game to determine who the league champion may be. I know the Imperial Tigers will have a lot to say about that, but Calexico had a lot of positive building blocks, John, to serve as a foundation for this game as they go into their next game. The El Centro Spartans didn't see a drop-off in talent at quarterback behind the throwing of Damian Rodriguez, but more importantly, it was the all-around athleticism and skill set that Charlie Sullivan brought to this ball game, John. He wouldn't let the Spartans lose the lead, let alone win the game. As he ran the ball with authority, he caught the ball when needed, he made the plays on defense with some bone-jarring tackles, and as a result, the newly distributed Burgers and Beer Player of the Game gift certificate will be going to Charlie Sullivan, number 2 for the Central Spartans.
I agree, Vic. He was their mainstay, and he was in the Wildcat offense. He took the ball, he ran with it, he caught passes, he did everything.
Well, you know, some guys are just football players, John. It doesn't matter what decade you play, what style of offense you run or defense. You know, the cream rises to the top, and Charlie Sullivan really added a lot of cream to his tacos.
He sure did. Calexico needs to regroup. This was their first tough loss against a very strong Central Spartan team. Next week, Imperial will be at Brawley. That may be a very good matchup. In fact, it is a good matchup. And then Calexico at Southwest, another good matchup. And then we have this Texas school coming to El Centro, Del Valle High School, I believe out of El Paso, will be traveling to Central to take on the Spartans. So that should be, VSN I'm sure will be broadcasting that one.
Well, you know, that was an outstanding game 2 years ago when Danilo Osuna was the quarterback, and they rescheduled the game, or the second game, the return match, was for last year, but COVID-19 threw everything asunder, and so the game wasn't allowed to be replayed until this upcoming fall. And so that'll be a classic here at Cal Jones Field in the next coming weeks.
And in the Desert League, Vincent Memorial will play at Calapat, and Hoteville will be at Palo Verde with Mountain Empire at Tri-City Christian. So what we have is 5 teams in each league, and they each get a non-league game within their schedule. So our non-league game would be at the end.
Now, John, with the official shortage here in the Imperial Valley, with the Imperial Valley Football Officials Association only having 3 full crews, if you have 5 home games scheduled for a Friday night, there may be a bumping of one game moved up to a Thursday night and a second game moved to a Saturday night. As last night, Hopeville and Calapat played in Hopeville, the Ivy Classic, and tomorrow night, the Southwest Eagles will serve as the game site for the Vincent Memorial Scots hosting the Red Hawks from Mountain Empire High School.
That's right. And any final thoughts as we go into the closing minutes of our broadcast?
Well, there's no mystery to the Central Spartans and what their plans are, and that's to repeat as the defending Imperial Valley football champions. And their 1-4 preseason record, John, was smoke and mirrors, because they came in tonight looking like a championship caliber team.
They did, and like I said earlier, you know, that their record, don't let it fool you, because they played some tough teams out of the San Diego section CIF. And Calexico, on the other hand, teams at the lower divisions that weren't as challenging as some of the opponents that Central had. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Of course, we'd like to thank our cameraman, Panchito Garcia, our engineer in the booth, Jose Alejos, and, of course, every one of our sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Join us next week from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, when VSN, the Valley Sports Network, will be airing one of those games I mentioned earlier. Thank you, Will Torres, Joaquin Matus, Jalen Fong, Eric Swain, Alejandra Zaragoza, and everybody at VSN for this broadcast. Again, tonight's final score, Central 42, Calexico 6. This is John Moreno for Vic Carrillo saying good night on the VSN, Valley Sports Network.